All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today we're breaking down what has to be one of the absolute craziest zero-to-hero arcs in recent storytelling. We're talking about Eren Ferreira. We're going to look at a boy whose entire physical and emotional transformation kicks off with an impossible dream. This isn't just your standard story about swinging a sword. Oh no, it's an absolute masterclass in overcoming deep trauma through sheer, unbreakable routine.
I mean, just imagine blinking, and bam, 50 years of brutal, back-breaking training are suddenly downloaded straight into your brain. Let's rewind a bit. After the tragic death of his mother, 5-year-old Eren was so traumatized that he just completely shut down. For 10 whole years, he barely left his bed, which earned him the kind of mocking title of the lazy noble. But here's the wild part. While his physical body was just decaying in lethargy, his mind was forcibly enrolled in a decades-long boot camp. In this reoccurring dream, he watched a mysterious old man relentlessly swinging a heavy sword, pushing through snow, aging, pure exhaustion. A literal lifetime of relentless training was imprinted right into Eren's mind in a single slumber.
Section 1. The 10-Year Slumber.
So, for a full decade, from age 5 all the way to 15, Eren was completely bedridden. Then, at 15, the dream of that old man's decades of training finally snaps him awake. When Eren actually picks up a heavy, unwieldy wooden sword, everyone around him thinks it's a joke. But for Eren, this grueling, blister-inducing physical training isn't about becoming some grand hero. Actually, it's a survival mechanism. He discovers that when his muscles are screaming in pain and he's practically gasping for air, the haunting memories of his mother's death finally fade away. The sword literally becomes his only escape from the dark swamp of his grief. And just weeks after picking up that wooden sword to silence his inner pain, he packs up and leaves his comfortable, sheltered life for the continent's most ruthless proving ground.
Section 2. The Chronos Sword Academy. Moving from the quiet isolation of his family's courtyard, our totally talentless protagonist is suddenly thrown into the absolute deep end. This academy is a fierce competition where only the best survive, and Eren is starting with, well, less than nothing. He's sitting at rock bottom in Class F. Just look at the absolute monsters he's up against in Class A. You've got Ilya Lindsay, a certified genius burdened by our family's legendary legacy. Then there's Bart Lloyd, an arrogant but highly analytical noble obsessed with perfection. And Judith, a fiercely competitive plebeian, fighting tooth and nail for survival in a really prejudiced world. It's your classic lineup of overpowered anime prodigies. And Eren? He is vastly outmatched in skill, background, and physical conditioning.
Which leads us to a pretty massive question, right? How could a boy with literally zero talent actually defeat the Academy's ultimate geniuses? Well, the answer lies in a superpower he didn't even know he had. It wasn't magic, and it wasn't some ancient secret technique. It was his concentration. Because of his trauma and those decades he spent mimicking the man in his dreams, Eren's ability to focus is just absolute.
Honestly, his early academy days were a total nightmare. He literally puked and collapsed during the very first endurance run. He was instantly thrown into Class F. But he didn't quit, no way. He meditated and trained all through the night, purely mimicking the old man's vertical strikes until he mastered the absolute basics, which earned him a promotion to Class C. But the real turning point? It wasn't actually a fight. It was a midterm evaluation involving a brutal swimming test. Eren was on track for a high score, but then he noticed his fierce rival, Judith, drowning from pure exhaustion. Without even a second thought, he sacrificed his rank to save her. That unmatched focus, combined with his deep empathy, slowly began to win over his harshest rivals, forging a genuinely unlikely alliance.
Section 3. Awakening the Sword Aura. But let's be real, hard work only gets you so far in a world full of monsters. To survive the final evaluation, Eren realizes he needs magic. Judith, returning the massive favor for Eren saving her life, teaches him the 6 concepts of aura. It starts with the accumulation of inner power, then fortification to release it, hardening to endure the physical toll it takes on the body, enlightenment to heighten battle senses, focus to direct that wild energy, and finally, manifestation. That's forming the aura on the blade itself. It's a beautifully executed, classic shonen power scaling trope, and watching Eren struggle to manifest this aura really sets the stage for a spectacular payoff.
Section 4. Forging the Heart's Blade.
The final Academy evaluation isn't just some standard test. It's a climactic clash of ideals against the seemingly untouchable #1 student, Ilya Lindsay. To win, Eren can't just copy the old man from his dreams anymore. He has to manifest his own unique style. On one side, we have Ilya using her family's celestial swordsmanship. I mean, she literally summons a destructive tornado of wind. It's a technique refined over generations just to kill demons. On the flip side, we have Aaron's Sword of the Heart. Instead of mimicking a family legacy, Aaron looks inward. He uses his aura to forge a massive blade of pure, radiant light, born entirely from his steel will and his profound desire to protect the friends he's made.
He finally finished forging that steel stake inside his heart with the fire of his will, creating a sword of pure light. Man, that quote perfectly captures the emotional weight of his victory. He swings that sword of pure light and literally shatters Ilya's legacy blade right in half. He doesn't just win a tournament. He proves he's no longer just a vessel imitating the old man in his dreams. He is Aaron Ferreira, an absolute powerhouse in his own right. It's such a powerful reminder for all of us, you know? You can only get so far imitating your heroes. Eventually, you have to forge your own path.
Section 5. Past Life of a Hero.
So, after the academy, Iron seeks out an orc shaman named Gruger to uncover the identity of the old man whose 50 years of training he inherited. And guys, what we get is a massive plot twist. The old man wasn't just some random ghost. He was Karen Winker, a legendary swordsman from centuries ago. Karen waged a lonely, truly despairing war against a demonic clown that destroyed his home and his family. When Karen finally failed and hit his limits, he prayed for someone to inherit his will. Gruger reveals the heavy truth. Iron is the actual reincarnation of Karen Winker. That 50-year dream? It wasn't a vision, it was a memory. The burning, unstoppable rage Iron felt in his heart was literally the inherited despair of his past life.
Section 6. The Demon's Subjugation. Now, knowing who he was is one thing, but proving who he is now is a whole different ballgame. Aaron steps out into the real world, joining forces with the ultimate prodigy, Ignat. This is the same genius who previously crushed Ilya's older brother. Things go completely sideways fast when their subjugation squad gets trapped by the posthumous curse of a demon clown. Yep, the very same type of demon that ruined his past life. This Shadow Realm trap is genuinely terrifying. Ignat, who is injured but totally resolute, teaches the trapped squad the Sword of the Hero. It's a technique specifically designed to fight demonic energy using pure, positive will. Trapped in this suffocating darkness, Aaron doesn't just fight the demon, he actually comes face to face with the soul of Karen Winker himself.
In the absolute pitch black of that Shadow Realm, Aren is forced to separate his identity from his past life. Karen Winker's power was totally fueled by despair and revenge, but Aren looks at Karen and essentially says, "Look, my family didn't die. I have people to protect." Aren's motivation completely evolves into hope and protection. Driven by his love for his modern family and his academy friends, Aren uses these positive emotions to ignite his Sword of the Heart, totally shattering the demon's darkness and freeing his comrades.
But wielding that kind of intense, fiery will definitely takes a toll. Even after defeating the demon, Aaron realizes that the blazing heat of his determination, the literal fire of Karen Winker's inherited rage, is just too volatile. To prevent completely burning himself out, he seeks out his old mentor, Master Ian, to learn a new balance. He begins this rigorous training to master water energy, learning to flow seamlessly and cool down the overwhelming, fiery demonic rage inside his heart. He's turning a destructive blaze into a controlled, unbreakable, and perfectly tempered blade.
Okay, let's take a step back and look at the big picture here. What you should really take away from this explainer is how a boy, completely crippled by trauma, used the haunting memories of a past life, not to seek revenge, but to build an unbreakable discipline. Aaron conquered his past life's regrets, mastered the Sword of the Heart, and transformed from the lazy noble into a true protector. But in a world filled with demonic curses and elite prodigies constantly pushing their limits, what new monstrous rivals await him next? Keep that question in mind, because this journey of the sword, it is far from over.